Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. That's all I'm going to talk about this year because it's long overdue. Last year, we addressed the secondary, and I said that we were going to need a pass rush, and I'm not going to back down. So you're going to have to find somebody else, somewhere else to go. We're going to talk about multiple free agents, but the pass rush is my number one concern. I will not back down. And I saw something today that kind of grinded my gears, and it was from Bleacher Report, okay? And I know that this is not new, but there's a team in here. NFL rumors, Vikings Danielle Hunter to have very strong market. Bears and Jaguars are linked. Now, this is coming from Jeremy Fowler. Says Hunter will have a very strong market. Of course he will. That can include the Chicago Bears and Jacksonville Jaguars. The Bears are reportedly very high on Danielle Hunter as they look for a pass rusher to complement Montez Sweat on the defensive line. Now, Brad Holmes said something during his season-ending press conference about pairing, that a lot of people, you have to pair this player with the other player. And you know what, Brad? You absolutely do. If the Jacksonville Jaguars retain Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, who is under contract, and get Danielle Hunter, that is going to be a very, very scary defensive front. That's what I want for my team. I will not back down. I have heard and seen enough. I'm not going to back down. 2 years ago, we drafted Jamison Williams. Last year, we didn't address the defensive line at all because Broderick Martin does not count. And in free agency, we didn't do anything either. It is time to address the defensive line. And if Danielle Hunter goes to the Bears, I'm going to be feeling, quote, some type of way. And I'm quoting myself here because that is not something that I want to see happen. I hope that the Detroit Lions also have very strong interest in Danielle Hunter. Now, I have my thoughts on whether or not the Detroit Lions will sign a guy like Danielle Hunter because of the fact that he held in 2023. There was some drama going into training camp and OTAs and blah, blah, blah. He was there, but he wasn't doing anything. And he wanted to be paid. Him and Chris Jones, who we'll probably talk about in a later video, were doing the exact same thing. And they got pretty much the exact same deal. They both had 1-year deals remaining on their contract. They did not get extended. They just got paid more for the final year of their contract. And one of those guys is in the Super Bowl in Chris Jones. All right. Now, Danielle Hunter is worth every penny. A lot of people talking about people being old. Danielle Hunter will be 30 right at the trade deadline heading into the 2024 season. All right. This is a guy that slowly kind of grew on me over the years. He, to me, is a combination of Brian Burns with the speed. And if you put Brian Burns and Josh Allen together, you get Danielle Hunter. Outside linebacker who plays defensive end and who is an absolute nightmare. And I would love for the Detroit Lions to have this guy, to go get this guy. I just don't know if he fits in the criteria that Brad and Dan are looking for. 29, drafted in 2015. Doesn't even see, it seems like he's getting better with age. 6'5", 263. Will be 30 during the season. LSU. Had 16 and a half sacks and 4 forced fumbles in 2023. Now, this guy is going to get paid. There's no doubt about it. He's going to get paid. If we look at his contract for last year, and I told you about the holdout that we did, that he did. Danielle Hunter signed a $17 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings, including a $5.5 million signing bonus, $17 million guaranteed, and an NFL average salary of $17 million. In 2024, Hunter will earn nothing because he won't be on the team, while carrying a cap hit of $14 million and a dead cap value of $14 million. So he is a free agent. I'm assuming Hunter will earn nothing because it said in 2024. And again, the way that they did this was somehow they voided out the years and blah, blah, blah. So he was set. This was his last year of being a Viking. This was his last year. Somehow he finagled it to happen, and these got added, and now he's an unrestricted free agent in 2024. So these were only added because of the restructure or redoing of his last year. So now an unrestricted free agent. Now, What is his market value? His market value is $20 million, 3 years, $20 million, a salary of $20 million a year for $60 million. That will make him the 9th highest paid outside linebacker, the 96th highest paid NFL player, and the current contract is the 9th. This was what it will be. He will become the 7th highest paid outside linebacker, and the 55th highest paid NFL player. Will put him up there with TJ Watt, overpriced Joey Bosa, Rashawn Gary, and Shaquille Barrett. That's where he will be in the market of. Now, Danielle Hunter is a guy. He is one guy, okay? So he's not multiple guys, AJ Epinesa, Van Ginkel. He's not a 2-for-1er. He is the guy. He is a guy. And he is a guy that will make a difference. That's just it. Could you imagine? Just humor me for 1 second. And I know everybody is trusting in Brad Holmes. Everybody is the dad from Everybody Hates Chris, shopping at Dollar General and the dollar store and buying half-eaten pies, okay? Sometimes you got to pay for stuff. My mom said, buy it right or buy it twice. And I have learned my lesson by spending money on things and not doing it right the first time. Danielle Hunter, could you imagine? Just humor me. Aiden Hutchinson, still growing. He's like a growing boy. He's like a cub that's maturing into a young lion, right? 10 plus sacks. 2 years now. No, he had 9.5 last year. He got the double-digit sacks this year. Hutch. And Danielle Hunter, along with somebody we're going to talk about in the next video coming after this, along with an exclusive rights free agent, James Houston, who you guys are still very high on, along with whoever we sign in the NFL draft. And like I said, and you're going to see this, a lot of our edge rushers are going to disappear. Charles Harris, gone. Romeo Okwara, gone. Julian Okwara, gone. We need some edge rushers. But again, I don't know if Brad Holmes is going to go in this direction. This is why I say, even with the holdout, that Brad could go Danielle, that we could still go Danielle Hunter. Because Brad Holmes has this affection toward the Minnesota Vikings. We traded up with them to get Jamison Williams. Then the next year, we traded TJ Hawkinson. That same calendar football year, we traded TJ Hawkinson within the division. So I think they have, there's something there. They have a relationship there that could facilitate this. Now, even though Danielle won't be traded, I still think that's why. So he probably talks to Kwesi, probably knows who says, hey, this is Danielle's character, right? I just don't know if it would surprise me if the Detroit Lions were to sign him, because one, of the money, that's number one. And two, I just don't know if I see them signing somebody that holds out or even holds in, because it never got to the season. So Danielle didn't have to sit out, whereas Chris Jones sat out. He missed the first game of the season. Danielle, it was already wrapped up before the season began. So he didn't make it that far. So I don't know. But I'll tell you what. His salary is $1 million cheaper than Josh Allen. He had more sacks than Josh Allen. Danielle Hunter is an absolute specimen. Like, the dude gets better with age. He reminds me of a kind of a better Everson Griffin, just without whatever Everson was going through. Because I remember when Danielle was there, Everson, they had a line, man. They were just crunch. Remember when they sacked Stafford for a record 10 times? I think Danielle was part of that team. So my number one priority would be Josh Allen. But because he's not going to escape, I think Danielle is. I don't think they're going to franchise tag him because of the history. It's just time to move on. I think and their defense is getting kind of older, and they want to kind of rehaul, right? And they got to pay Justin Jefferson. They got to do some things that they might want to get done before the season begins. So while Josh Allen is my number one priority, I tell you what, I wouldn't be mad at all with Danielle Hunter at all. I already, that right there would make my offseason. Danielle Hunter signing with the Detroit Lions would make my offseason. Any big name beast free agent, because they all are worth every penny. That's why I want them, because they are game changers, and we need a game changer on the defensive line. It's time. Don't worry. Depth is coming. We got a lot of people talk about, like I said, one video coming later, directly after this one, about a guy that we talked about in the previous video. Great depth piece. There's another guy as well that the Detroit Lions could be looking at, and a defensive tackle. That video is coming as well. So depth is coming. The draft is still a thing. But could you imagine, and just humor yourself, Aiden Hutchinson, double-digit sacks, because he's going to get double-digit sacks next year. And Danielle Hunter? And then, I mean, if Roderick Martin has anything, if he's worth 2 cents, like the Detroit Lions think he is, and plays any amount of time and does something, our defensive line would be leaps and bounds better than it was last year. So give me your thoughts, man. Let me know. 2-part question. Danielle Hunter, would you want him? Second part is, do you think Brad is going to sign him for whatever reason? What are your thoughts on why he wouldn't or would not sign Danielle Hunter? Let me know. You know how it's time, man. My favorite defensive end is Nick Bosa. And I think Aiden could be kind of like the second coming of Nick. Work out, put on some muscle. And I would love to have Danielle Hunter on a 3-year deal. I really would. I wouldn't be mad at all. That would make my offseason. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.